Another thing that occurs to me that we could talk about here is just the um, the principle, I guess, that sometimes by starting something, you get the ball rolling. And I think some of what we've seen is by the very act of introducing AGS as a published price, more companies have come out to report to us. Companies are looking at ways they could use it. Um, and maybe it's even been a little bit of a catalyst toward this narrowing of locational spreads. Um, what do you see as kind of the industry's response 3 months in to Argus AGS?
Yeah, as you mentioned, we have seen companies that did not report to Argus are now reporting into the AGS price. Companies that were reporting to Argus are reporting differently now because we have the AGS index, which is based on a differential, so volume weighted average of differentials, same as we have for other Gulf Coast grades. But we also have the AGS marker, which is based on outright pricing. So we've seen companies start to report outright prices and not just differentials. We've seen companies report with timestamps, which is also something that's new and we didn't used to have before. So I think there are participants that do want to help the creation of this new index, and they are showing that in their actions. So they are changing the way they report, or they have started reporting whereas they wouldn't before, etc. So I think yes, absolutely, we've seen a change in the industry and how they interact with us in terms of providing information that helps make the assessment. Also, I think the transparency that you get from having something like this, and when you put a number on a locational spread the way that we have in AGS, I think that helps people understand better some of the relationships between these different locations. So some people who maybe didn't have visibility into certain locations because they just don't trade there or whatever it might be, they can see that now. And so that's kind of leveling the playing field, if you will. And that does, help in this idea of convergence where the value of WTI in theory at some point in the future should be pretty similar across the different locations. This is something that people tell us, when we talk about AGS all the time, that most people expect that convergence to happen just as, more infrastructure comes on. And we have Wink to Webster, which is coming on now in October. And that obviously has helped in that process too. That has helped narrow the echo to MEH value for sure. You also have now Magellan East Houston MEH opening up to WTI barrels that don't come on BridgeTex or Longhorn only, but also other third-party pipelines. And so again, that goes back to the quality discussion, and that also helps converge the values because you can see that the qualities at ECHO or MEH are really very similar, so there shouldn't be a quality spread there. And so, yeah, I think generally as the market continues to mature at the Gulf Coast for WTI, the expectation is that you're going to see that convergence. And transparency just helps speed that along because it just means more people can see those spreads now and can behave differently based on that knowledge.